My name is Karlyn Sutherland and I'm a glass artist based in Leicester, Caithness. I was in the first year of my PhD in architecture at the University of Edinburgh, and I was interested in the topic of place and what drew people back to particular locations. So I started to think about what it was that had drawn artists back to Northlands over the years. And I was curious enough that I applied for a place on a masterclass with Jane Bruce and Bruno Romanelli. And I thought that I would observe other people responding to Leicester and to the environment, but I realised quite quickly that I was hooked on glass. Its qualities and characteristics allow me to speak about architectural atmosphere and space and volume in a way that no other material can quite allow. So I've quite recently started to make work that's directly about my own experience and memories of place, and particularly about qualities of light that I remember from instances as a child. So this piece is about standing on the bed in my bedroom in the house that I grew up in and looking into a mirrored wardrobe door back out through the window at the sea and the harbour here in Leicester and seeing everything in reverse and wondering or imagining what it would be like to live in this other world. So my work looks at attachment to and detachment from place, and I use perspective and perspective drawing to give an illusion of a false space of something that's inaccessible and a view that's unattainable. And through doing that, I want to try and challenge people's perceptions of space when they're looking at the work. So I begin with a series of sketches to try and figure out a composition, scale, and proportion of the elements of the piece. And from there, I'll draw it more accurately on the computer using AutoCAD so that I can be more precise in the scale and the layering. And from there, I will then cut sheet glass and start to define planes of perspective drawing with the colour of the glass rather than using line. And once I've cut all the various elements of sheet glass, they're then fired face side down in the kiln. So when I cut the glass, I intentionally cut it a fraction smaller on all edges so that when I'm cold working, I have control over how much I bring it back and how precise I can then make the forms that I end up with, because the perspective drawing or the perspective nature of the pieces dictates that it needs to be quite precise. So all the faces and the edges of the glass are finished by hand using float glass and grit. And I'm really looking for a surface finish that people are drawn to, that has quite a satin matte surface and that you almost want to touch although you're not supposed to.